Is Rohit Sharma going to be a burden for the Mumbai Indians come the IPL 2025?
Now, the IPL is just few weeks down the line, and the mega auction that just went by has made a lot of things interesting in terms of team balance and combinations for a lot of different teams. So, we thought let's look at each IPL team and let's break things down in terms of numbers and see where each team stands.
Let's talk about Mumbai Indians and their auction this season. Mumbai Indians have had a great auction this season. They wanted an overseas fast bowler, so they got Trent Bolt. They wanted a spinner, so they got Mitch Santner. They wanted an Indian fast bowling option, and they got Deepak Chahar. They've tried to cover all their bases, and I think they have succeeded. Mumbai Indians already had an existing batting lineup, which they retain. If you talk about Rohit Sharma, their opener, the number one T20 batter in Surana Yadav, India's best all-rounder in Hardik Pandya, the best bowler in the world in Jasprit Bumrah, and a young upcoming left-handed batsman in Tilak Verma, who scored a number of hundreds since he's been retained for the Mumbai Indians. And this is an explosive batting lineup. They also added the firepower of Will Jacks, Ryan Rickelton, Robin Mins, and overall, it just seems like a packed batting lineup. Now, add to that, you have a killer fast bowling trio of Deepak Chahar, Jasprit Bumrah, Trent Bolt, and the spin of Mujib and Mitch Santner. Overall, it seems like a great squad with a lot of options. They've also tried and worked on their squad depth. They have Lizard Williams and Reece Topley to cover for Trent Bolt, and have also Karan Sharma, an Indian leg spinner, who can cover their spin department. They've also tried to get Indian batters in KL Srijit and Naman Dheer, who they've backed this season, who can be a great asset for them as he can come and hit the long ball and bowl a few overs of off spin. The most exciting player to watch out for Mumbai Indians this year is probably Robin Mins. Their management speaks highly of him and he fits the role perfectly. He's a wicketkeeper batter who bats in the death overs, who can hit the long ball, and who can finish for the team. The most underrated buy though for Mumbai Indians has to be Mitch Santner, the New Zealand captain, for his base price. He gives you 4 quality overs, can hit the long ball, and is a great asset in the field. Overall, he gets great depth to Mumbai Indians, and with the help of the impact player, they can play an extra batter because of Mitch Santner.
For this analysis, we've taken T20 data from all over the world since 2021. Now, this includes all of the franchisee leagues that have been played and also all of the state tournaments that happen. Of course, each team has a lot of players, and so we've narrowed it down to the best batters in each team, and we've done multiple kinds of comparisons. Now, a couple of metrics that I want to establish before we get into this is firstly the IPL mean, and secondly the top 20 IPL mean. As the name suggests, this IPL mean metric is going to be the batting average as well as the batting strike rate of batters in the IPL for this duration. And the second metric that we're looking at is the top 20 average. It's the same thing but for the top 20 players. And based on this, we've plotted graphs to see where batters in a certain franchise stand.
Now, one of the most important batters for Mumbai Indians and someone who scored 300 plus scores every season so far is Tilak Verma. He's not only played for the Indian team, but he bats number 3 and number 4. So he is a prominent top order batter for the Mumbai Indians. Since 2021, Tilak Verma as a batter in all T20 games that he has played has an average of 45 and a strike rate of 147. Now, to give you a little perspective on how good his average is better than the average of the top 20 batters of the IPL. Even if you look at the T20 format and break it down in 3 phases, even in this, amongst the Mumbai Indian batters, Tilak Verma is the best in terms of averages and strike rate, especially his average in the power play and the middle phases. He has an average of about 40 and his strike rate picks up from 130 to 147, which are incredible numbers for a top order batter. And this isn't necessarily because he hits a lot of boundaries, and this is where Tilak Verma stands out as compared to other Mumbai Indian batters. He is able to keep this high strike rate because of his ability to rotate strike, because his non-boundary strike rate is 70.3 and it's the best amongst the batters that we have picked. And this just means that if you remove all the boundaries from his innings so far, he still has a strike rate of about 70.
And another very important batsman for the Mumbai Indians is going to be Surya Kumar Yadav. In fact, Surya is going to be a perfect complement to Tilak Verma's style of play, and these two are going to be very important for Mumbai Indians in those middle overs. Surya Kumar Yadav too has played a lot for the Indian team, batting at 3 and 4, and he'll be doing the same for the Mumbai Indians. His strike rate is something to definitely watch out for. Amongst the Mumbai Indians batters, he has the highest strike rate at 163, and this is also higher than the top 20 strike rate of batters in the IPL. Now, Surya Kumar Yadav has been doing well for the Mumbai Indians for the longest time, and he's a player who plays well in all phases of the game. He has a decent average across the power play, the middle overs, as well as the death. But something to note is the increase in his strike rate. The way he accelerates in this game is something to definitely watch out for the other teams. Surya comes into the power play with a batting strike rate of just 138, and from there he takes off in the middle overs to 160, and if that's not all, when he comes to the death, that strike rate goes up all the way to 217. One more thing that stands out for Surya Kumar Yadav is that he has the best balls per boundary when it comes to the Mumbai Indians batters. This means that he takes the shortest number of balls between boundaries that he scores for the Mumbai Indians.
Now let's talk about a top Indian batter, but someone who might be a concern for the Mumbai Indians, and that's Rohit Sharma. We know that Rohit Sharma has had horrendous couple of seasons in the IPL. If I tell you he has an overall average of 27 with a strike rate of 138, you would not believe that he's a top order batter. If you look at this chart, you'll realize he's below average just everybody from the Mumbai Indians, but not just that, he's also below average in terms of the IPL mean when you compare him to the strike rates and averages. This is concerning for the Mumbai Indians because he will bat on top of the order, and if he doesn't have a good season, the Mumbai Indians will have to carry him throughout.
The last couple of batsmen that we want to look at is Ryan Rickelton and Will Jacks. Now these are both overseas buys and will be playing at the top of the order for the Mumbai Indians. And now the thing with both of these batters is that they have really good strike rates. Will Jacks especially is one of the best when it comes to balls per boundary as well as his high strike rate. But when it comes to their batting averages, they are slightly on the average side. Now when people talk about Ryan Rickelton, you often remember a young Quinton de Kock. This is almost exactly how he is. Not only because of the fact that he's South African, but also that he's a lefty and bats in a very similar style and can also keep wickets. Ryan Rickelton has also now started making strides in international cricket, getting his maiden century not long ago, and this would mean that he's coming in and this could be a breakthrough season for him with the Mumbai Indians. For Will Jacks, he could be extremely explosive and teams will have to watch out and ensure that they can keep him at bay because he will be able to take the game away from the opposition very quickly. Not only that, he might be the perfect complement for Rohit Sharma's style of play, and these two could then forge a good partnership at the top of the order.
Now when it comes to the Mumbai Indians bowling, you cannot go past Jasprit Bumrah. Now his numbers in the T20 format since 2021 are almost GOAT level. He's the only Mumbai Indians fast bowler to average below 20. He has an average of 17 and an economy of 6.5. Not just this, even if you look at him phase wise in the T20 format, he always has an economy of around 6. With that, his bowling average and strike rates keep getting better. His bowling average from 21 in the power play goes down to 13 during the death, and his strike rate goes down from 21 to 12. And of course, Jasprit Bumrah has better numbers than the top 20 bowlers of the IPL since 2021.
Because Jasprit Bumrah has such good numbers when it comes to the middle overs as well as the death, Mumbai Indians might not even need to use him with the new ball. That's also because they have two other really good bowlers, the first one being Trent Bolt with the new ball. Now when it comes to Trent Bolt, obviously we know that he's a specialist T20I bowler with the new ball and also in the death, and his numbers back this. Trent Bolt of course has a better bowling average as well as economy when you compare him to the IPL mean, but not only this, let's look at his phase wise play. Now Trent Bolt is supreme when it comes to the new ball. He has an economy of just 7 when bowling in that power play. Not only this, but since 2021 there's an interesting stat where he's bowled about 56% of deliveries as dot balls. While his bowling average and strike rate both get considerably better as the game progresses, there is one thing to watch out for, and that is his death bowling numbers when it comes to the economy. His economy is slightly expensive at 8.9, and that's why Mumbai Indians will prefer using him up front in the power play and the middle overs.
Now apart from Deepak Chahar and Trent Bolt, someone else who can bowl with the new ball or might possibly be a first change for the Mumbai Indians with the ball is Hardik Pandya. Now he's not only important with the bat, but he's also very important with the ball. That makes him one of the most important players in the team. Now if you look at Hardik Pandya's numbers with the bat or even with the ball, he's not the best, nor does he stand out, but the fact that he's an all-rounder and the fact that he does both the roles very well makes him an important asset. If you look at him with the bat, he has a strike rate of about 140. The Mumbai Indians can float him around and use him to finish off games, if not be a clutch player that we know Hardik Pandya to be. With the ball, there can be matches where Mumbai Indians don't even need to use Deepak Chahar because of how much Hardik Pandya bowls with the new ball, especially for the Indian team. Now his numbers might not stand out if you compare him to the other bowlers, but he is very important because of the skill set that he brings into the team. He can bowl a good bouncer, he swings the new ball, he has a lot of cutters and adapts to the pitches. You know Hardik Pandya is a thinker because he has also won games for Mumbai Indians and not just the Indian team.
Coming to one of the best buys for the Mumbai Indians in the auction, something we've also just talked about is Mitchell Santner. Now Mitchell Santner's numbers throughout an IPL are incredible. When it comes to his economy rate, be it in the power play, middle overs or the death, he's always had an economy rate of hovering around 7. Both his bowling average as well as his bowling strike rate keep getting better as the game progresses, but not only that, he's someone who's going to be a very tricky customer because he can be used with that new ball. He's shown a lot of good control in the Champions Trophy. He's someone who can also vary his pace, and the fact that he's a left-arm spinner already puts him ahead of so many of the other spinners in this tournament. Even at the death, because of his economy of 7.2, he becomes a good option on the off chance that someone like a Jasprit Bumrah or Trent Bolt might go for runs. And if you look at this graph, he's also fairly close to the top 20 IPL mean, which means that he's definitely one of the top bowlers to watch out for come this IPL 2025.
Well, this is Mumbai Indians' probable 11, according to us. To start the innings, you'd have Rohit Sharma and Will Jacks, which is probably one of the most dangerous opening pairs in the entire tournament. At 3, you'll have Tilak Varma. At 4, you'll have Suryakumar Yadav. And at 5, you'll have Hardik Pandya. The 3 of them were retained by the franchise, and Tilak Varma gives you a left-handed option in the top 4 as well. Suryakumar Yadav and Hardik Pandya are the experienced veterans of this side and have consistently bailed out Mumbai Indians in difficult situations. Tilak Varma, on the other hand, has at number 6, you'd probably have Namandir, who the franchise has backed, and got him for a decent amount in this auction. In at 7, you probably have the most exciting pick for Mumbai Indians this year, and that's Robin Mins. And this year could be the year where he actually gets to play a lot of matches, because Mumbai Indians would need a wicketkeeper down the order if they do decide to open with Will Jacks. In at 8, you then have Mit Santner, followed by Deepak Chahar, Jasprit Bumrah, Trent Bolt, which completes your bowling lineup and is a very exciting lineup to watch. You also have the impact player option of using either Mujibur Rahman or Ryan Rickelton if needed. Mumbai Indians therefore have covered all the bases required, and if they decide to use Mujib, he can be used as an extra spin option. If they decide to use maybe Reece Topley in a pacey wicket, and also if they need an extra batting option, they can always use Ryan Rickelton.
We now move to a team that is relatively new in the IPL, one of the 2 new franchises, that's Lucknow Supergiants. They're yet to win an IPL, and could it be this season?
Let's have a look at LSG in this auction. LSG had quite an interesting auction because they did end up getting the biggest Indian name in the auction pool in Rishabh Pant for a whooping 27 crores, and who's also been named their captain this year. But they ended up missing out on a few international fast bowling options, which means that they now have to rely heavily on their Indian bowling lineup. This means that the likes of Mayank Yadav, Akashdeep, Avesh Khan, Mohsin Khan are now having to take the mantle and create a match-winning unit out of that. While these fast bowlers are quality, they do lack a little bit of international experience when it comes to the limited over game. Avesh Khan, for example, has performed really well for different franchises in the last few seasons, and Mayank Yadav burst onto the scene last year with his express pace for LSG and also made his India debut. But he's failed to live up to the expectations for him because of various injuries. Mohsin Khan did play well for them last season, but is coming back from an injury as well. And when it comes to Akashdeep, he's had a great test season and he's burst onto the scene with his quality bowling. But when it comes to T20 cricket, he probably lacks a little bit of international experience. You add all of these fast bowlers together, and while they look like they have a lot of potential, they do lack a little bit of experience. And it'll be interesting to see how this bowling lineup comes together for this tournament. On the other hand, for the spin department, they have a trusted Ravi Bishnoi, who's going to give you 4 quality overs and is a live wire in the field. They've also added the likes of Shahbaz Ahmed and Abdul Samad for the extra spin option, and overall look like a solid bowling lineup, but it's the batting that excites me this time for them. They got the likes of Rishabh Pant and David Miller in the auction, and also added the quality of Aiden Markram and Mitchell Marsh, who could probably open for them together. LSG overall have had a great squad this season where they've tried to cover all the bases. While that's the case, and they might lack a little bit of quality in their international bowling lineup, they've got some exciting players that we can look out for. They've got Aswin Kulkarni and Ayush Badoni, who've had great domestic seasons and also pretty decent IPL last year. Aswin Kulkarni is a very exciting prospect who can hit the long ball and can bowl in the late 130s, which is a rare commodity in Indian cricket. Aswin Kulkarni brings that depth to LSG that allows them to use an extra batter with the help of the impact player rule. While on the other hand, given the fact that Mitchell Marsh might miss out on this tournament due to an injury, there's a chance that Ayush Badoni might open or continue playing in the middle overs like he has in the past few seasons. Ayush Badoni looks like a great quality player and has really been able to adapt different situations. He's come in as a floater at number 3 a few times and then has come down in the order to finish off a few innings and has looked comfortable while doing both. With the likes of David Miller in the squad now as a finisher, it gives an opportunity to Ayush Badoni to maybe come higher up the order and show what he's really all about.
Amongst the LSG batters, statistically, the most important batter for them is going to be Nicholas Poor, and he has an average of 31 and a whopping strike rate of 150. He's the best in the team, not just in terms of strike rate, but also balls per boundary. He has a balls per boundary rate of 4.8, which means he almost hits a boundary every 5 deliveries. He's not only a good asset because of the batter that he is of course a left-handed batter, but because he's played all around the world in franchise tournaments and has captained, he will be a good batter in crunch situations when the team is under pressure, and of course will be part of the leadership group. And it's not just this, right? Because of the experience that he is able to accelerate by the end of the T20 innings. throughout the power play and the middle phase of a T20 innings, he has a strike rate of 140, which in itself is impressive, but by the end of the T20 innings, he has a strike rate of 193.
Coming to the captain of the Lucknow Supergiants, Rishabh Pant is going to be an important player, but his stats don't necessarily prove that. While Rishabh Pant too brings in his left-handedness, his leadership abilities, and all of the vast experience that he's carried not only from years of playing cricket but also the fact that he's a part of the Indian team, Rishabh Pant isn't particularly the best T20 batter, and this shows in his strike rate, which is below the IPL mean. But not only that, his average is also just around the mid-30s. However, numbers aren't necessarily suggestive of the kind of player that Rishabh Pant is, and we all know how he can take the attack to the opposition. What will be interesting to see is where he places himself when it comes to the batting order. Will he bat at number 3 like he did in that T20 World Cup, or will he decide to slot himself lower down the order?
The possible openers for this team could be Aiden Markram, Mitchell Marsh, or possibly an X factor with Ayush Badoni. Now, these guys aren't necessarily standouts. They have an average of about 30 and strike rate of about 140. Now, something LSG can do is push Ayush Badoni on top of the order, because he is predominantly a top order batter, and can also be explosive because in the last couple of seasons they have used him in the middle or lower middle order. But with the experience of Aiden Markram and Mitchell Marsh, LSG might just be tempted to use these guys as the opener, because they will not only bat for a very long time, but they will look to attack from ball 1.
Coming to LSG's finishers, you obviously cannot look beyond David Miller. He's someone who's been extremely reliable irrespective of which franchise he's played in. He has a lot of experience playing around leagues all over the world. Across 199 games of T20 cricket since 2021, he has an impressive average of 36 and a strike rate of 137. Along with David Miller, someone to also watch out for is Abdul Samad. Now, there's been a lot of conversation around Abdul Samad. He has been a part of the IPL for a fairly long time, but he hasn't really had a standout season, but there's a lot of backing on just his potential. While Samad does have a poor batting average of just 25, when it comes to his strike rate, this is where he stands out amongst all of his peers. He in fact has the second highest strike rate in this LSG team, striking at 147. Now, it will be important to see if Abdul Samad gets game time and if he is able to repay the faith of the management, but this is something that we'll only get to know once the IPL starts.
Now, when it comes to the LSG bowling lineup, the most important player in this lineup is Ravi Bishnoi, because statistically at least he is the best and stands out amongst the LSG bowlers. He has an economy of 7.2 and a fantastic average of 22. Now, Ravi Bishnoi as a spinner can be used in the power play, has been used by LSG and even the Indian team. He has an economy of 7.8 in the power play itself with the dot ball percentage of 50. But where he is really in control is the middle phase, where he can set the fielders in the boundary, where he knows what to do, which is also why his economy comes down from 7.7 to 7.1. And an added advantage is the fact that he is a wrist spinner and almost a mystery spinner, which means that he will get purchased from almost every kind of surface.
Now, another spinner to watch out for and someone who's actually been a part of the IPL for a fairly long time now is Shahbaz Ahmed. Shahbaz Ahmed coming in with his left arm orthodox is someone who's been effective for RCB and now moving to LSG is going to be important to see how he goes with this bowling lineup. It'll be interesting to see how Shahbaz Ahmed goes with this bowling lineup, if he can complement Ravi Bishnoi and control the middle overs, or if he will have to wait to get an opportunity in the playing 11. While economically speaking, he is a good bowler with an economy of just 8. His bowling average is definitely on the higher side, with him getting a wicket just every 31 runs.
Now, the X factor to look out for, and a lot of people who are excited by, is Mayank Yadav. He hasn't played a lot of cricket because of his injuries, but because of his express pace and what he has done, he will be someone to look out for. From whatever matches he has played since 2021 in the T20 format, it's very interesting because if you look at his phase-wise bowling, he only gets better and better, especially with his economy. He starts out with 7.7 in the power play, and in the death overs, he has an economy of 5.0, which means he concedes less than 6 runs per over. Even his dot ball percentages climb up from 54% to 59%, and these are insane numbers for someone who's just looked at as express pace.
Now, one interesting highlight from the auction is that LSG have a lot of Indian fast bowlers this time. Along with Mayank Yadav, we also have the likes of Akashdeep, Avesh Khan and also Mohsin Khan in the fast bowling mix. Now, while Akashdeep hasn't played that much T20 cricket since 2021, he is someone who could be an important bowler with that new ball, and it'll be interesting to see if LSG decide to start off with him. In the limited games that he has played, he has a decent economy of 8.16 and he's picked up wickets at a decent bowling average of 26. The added fact that Akashdeep has test match experience might make him reach that playing 11 itself. But if you ask us and we had to give a personal recommendation to the LSG think tank, we would definitely lean towards playing Avesh Khan and also Mohsin Khan. These are two bowlers who have done well in the IPL. Avesh especially has stood out over the last few seasons, and Mohsin Khan too has had a good time with the teams that he's played. While Mohsin Khan has been extremely expensive at the death, going at an economy of 10.4, his numbers in the power play and the middle overs are something that LSG LSG will definitely want him to make use of. Mohsin Khan in the power play has an economy of 7.3, and those numbers get slightly better in the middle overs where that economy dips to 7.2. All in all, he's a good bowling option, especially on a pitch that aids the fast bowlers to come in and dominate in those power play and middle overs. And of course, stats don't do justice to all of this. This is where Avesh Khan comes in. Despite him being on the slightly more expensive side as compared to some of these other LSG bowlers, Avesh Khan will be an important cog in that wheel. He has played for India, he has all of that IPL experience, and he's just getting better with age. He will also most likely spearhead this inexperienced bowling lineup, and not only that, his skill set is something that is going to be transferable to all aspects of the T20 game.
Let's have a look at LSG's probable playing 11 according to us this season. They'll start off the innings with Mitchell Marsh and Aiden Markram, who have international quality experience and have a good approach, with Mitchell Marsh's aggressive approach and Aiden Markram handling the ship. It's a good way to start off the innings. At number 3, they'll have their captain Rishabh Pant, who's probably one of the most exciting players going around in world cricket at the moment. At number 4, they'll have Nicholas Pooran, who's been a key member for Lucknow Supergiants in the past. And at number 5, they'll have Ayush Baroni, who's been used as a floater and probably will have to continue doing that this season. He can come in if an early wicket falls, and he can come down the order if Nicholas Pooran and Rishabh Pant need to be promoted up the order. At number 6, which according to me is a great buy, is David Miller. He's been a revelation for the Gujarat Titans in the last couple of seasons and has really won them games single-handedly. LSG will be hoping that he can do the same for them. At number 7, you'll have Ashwin Kulkarni, who's been a rare commodity in Indian cricket with his all-round skills. At number 8, you can have Abdul Samad or Shahbaz Ahmed based on the conditions, and they'll act as the second spinner for this team as well. At 9, you'll have Ravi Bishnoi. At 10, you'll have Mayank Yadav. At 11, you'll have Avesh Khan, and Mohsin Khan is the impact player. The issue here for LSG is that they have 4 quality Indian fast bowling options and probably will have to choose 3 out of them. A reason for this can also be because of the injury-prone Mayank Yadav. While Mayank Yadav has had a great season last year, it's common knowledge that he's quite injury-prone. They've covered their fast bowling options and can therefore use Mitchell Marsh and Aiden Markram up top, and probably be one of the only teams who uses 4 overseas batters in the tournament. Their batting is one of the most exciting batting lineups to watch, and while their bowling lineup is pretty good and has a lot of potential, they do lack a little bit of quality international experience, especially in this T20 format. So it's going to be interesting to see how LSG actually defend totals and how hard the batting lineup can go from ball 1.
This has been our video on breaking down the first 2 teams of the IPL, the Mumbai Indians and the Lucknow Supergiants. Watch out for our upcoming videos where you're going to do a breakdown for each and every IPL team. Thank you so much for watching. Definitely like this video. Leave your comments down below, and even your playing 11s, who do you think will play for these teams? All of our links are in the description. Definitely follow us on Instagram. Follow our WhatsApp channel. There's going to be a lot of updates there. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.